What is up, the Bomb Squad? This is Don the Bomb, and I've returned yet once again for another exciting, action-packed wrestling figure unboxing and review. So I've been going back and forth for months after I got this figure. Should I open it? Should I leave it in the box? Should I open it? Should I leave it in the box? So ultimately, today, I'm going to let her breathe. Hopefully it's not something I regret, but I'm a 99.9% loose collector, as you can see behind me, so she's just going to join the crowd. So what I have to unbox today, hesitantly, mind you, is the Jazwares AEW Unrivaled Series 13 Chase 1 of 5,000 The Bunny figure. The Bunny, I believe, is no longer in AEW, which is a shame because I like Allie. I like her work. She plays a very good crazy chick. But I guess it was her time to leave. But luckily, before she left, Jazwares made a figure of her, which I have to unbox today. What a time to be alive. And like I said, sticker says 1 of 5,000, which is, I hate for first time in a line figures and ultimately, only time in a line figure for it to be a chase or a rare 1 of 3,000 or 1 of 5,000. It makes it almost impossible to find at a decent price because the stores, you have to be really, really lucky to find them at retail. And, on eBay and whatever, the prices are just astronomical on the third party. But I was lucky enough a few months ago to find the Bunny on eBay. I think she was around $55 or so plus shipping. So it could be worse. And I'm going to unbox her. And there she is right there in her plastic prison, as my YouTube friend Kyle Peterson says. AEW, the Bunny, the other competitors in this particular series, and there she is right there with that one of those crazy looks. And there, barcode and other jibber jabber, window up there, the Bunny. So let's get right into it and free her from the plastic prison. I hate to do it, but it's got to be done. I previously reviewed a couple other Chase rare figures that I have in my collection of AEW. One of them being Alex Reynolds, which I think was a 1 of 3,000 maybe, or maybe 5,000. And then a Shawn Spears, which is one of my favorite AEW figures. That was, I think, a 1 of 3,000. All right. There she is in all of her splendor and all her glory, the Bunny. Let's look at the accessories. She has, oh, look at that. She has fists, and it looks like she has some brass knuckles within those fists. In case she wants to knock someone the F out, she could do that. That's a pretty cool touch. I didn't notice that before. And then you have the signature Bunny entrance mask. That's what makes her the Bunny. Pretty stupid gimmick, but the Bunny. She goes along very nicely with the Butcher and the Blade is the Bunny. Terrible, terrible name, but it is what it is. Oh. Ooh, hate to see that. Sorry, Allie, I seem to cut you in half. Very deranged and demented I am. Luckily, as we know with Jazwares figures, they're good for customizers because the limbs are easily able to be removed and put back together any way you want it to. So there she is right there, the Bunny. Now looking at her head sculpt, Jazwares, they can either hit it out of the park or swing and miss. Now this one, to me, is not one of their stronger face scans, face sculpts. That's unfortunate because, this will be her only Jazwares figure and maybe only figure, period. And you have a nice, soft plastic jacket. You have the wrestling attire top there. There's a nice design there on her tights. And then there's the backside. And there her knee pads, which are sculpted on. as well as the laces and the holes for her longer wrestling boots. The back, long hair, bunny, nice design with black with silver trim. Very nice, very nice, very nice Allie. Let's see if she stands on a ringside collectibles stand, which she does. Well, actually, let's go over articulation. Now, I'm not going to take off the jacket because they're always a pain in the butt to put back on, but I am sure she has bicep cuts, double jointed, pinned elbows, removable hands. Now, with her hair, it doesn't go back too far. Her head can go down a little bit. You have the ab crunch that's decent. You can spin her hips. She has the thigh cut. There is the double jointed pinned legs, the boot cut, the ankles, which hopefully are decent, which they are, thank goodness. I've seen some Jazwares figures. The ankles just be terrible. Same with Mattel WWE figures, but not too shabby, not too shabby. Like I said, the face scan isn't great. You have her hands just come out of the package, some nail polish on there. Put her back on the stand. Put the bunny mask on. And she's good to go. For other figure comparisons, let's bring in her stablemate and husband, the Blade, or at least I think they're married. There he is, a very mysterious guy himself. The Blade, a little bit taller than the bunny. Very nice. And then for a WWE Mattel comparison, I will bring in the Mattel Ultimate Alexa Bliss. Now, one thing that's aggravated me the last handful of years about Mattel is, for whatever reason, they just decided to shrink the majority of the female figures. So they're kind of like children now when you stand them next to older WWE women's figures or the men figures in general. I think what they did was they took Rey Mysterio, who was already made too short, and they're like, oh my gosh, we can't make this woman bigger than Rey Mysterio. So now they're all pretty much look like children. So hate to see it. It's very unfortunate. And there you see against Jazwares. I believe Jazwares scaling is pretty good as far as women to men. I know some of the women are, taller than they should be or shorter than they should be. This Allie seems to be pretty consistent with her height in comparison. And one thing I do like about the Jazwares women's figures, they put a lot of care into the sculpting of their unique bodies. And like I said, the face scans are hit or miss a lot of the time, and this one's definitely a little bit of a miss. So it is what it is. But if I had to rate this figure, I probably would give it probably a 7 out of 10. So not too bad. So it is the bunny. So the Bomb Squad. And if you're not already a member of the Bomb Squad, what are you waiting for? What are you doing? Subscribe, or the bunny is going to kick your ass. And remember these words from your boy, and everything will be okay if you're running from the bunny, and that is, all that glitter isn't gold. Until the next one, I'm out of here. Oh, baby.